Welcome back to RX Muscle's Road to the Arnold Classic 2017, brought to you by Quest Nutrition. Visit questnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is IFBB Women's Physique Pro and defending Arnold Women's Physique Champion, Autumn Swansen. Hey.
Hey.
Good to see you. I hear you're a little under the weather.
Yes, very under the weather. I feel underwater. I have for like 2 weeks, so.
Hopefully you're going to be ready by next week, though. Hopefully just a little
Oh yeah,
cold.
nothing's holding me back. Nothing's stopping me. I haven't skipped a beat. I mean, might have felt like garbage, but we're pressing forward. So.
It's funny because I have a lot of people who
I figure look at it this way. Everyone up there has been through this mess. So it's everywhere. It's every state. So.
Well, people contact me all the time. They're like, "Should I train? I have a cold." I'm like, unless you're on your deathbed, get to the freaking gym. I'm like, don't make it an excuse,
In fact, it's when you feel the best. Like, I'm like, oh, some relief. I mean, you may feel a little bit worse afterwards, but yeah. So.
Now, you came in last year off of third place in 2015 at the Olympia. You won the Arnold Classic. You beat a lot of people who, predictors were saying you'd never beat, and you really established yourself as one of the dominating forces in that women's physique division. What did that Arnold Classic win mean for you?
Oh gosh, it meant everything. Like, it's crazy because like you said, like I wasn't even, I mean, you always train to win, you prepare to win, but there can only be one winner. And so to say that, everyone to have the mentality, like I'm going to win and I'm the best, like, no, so like, I just was up there just like, hoping to get first call outs. And then when I got center, like I was just like out of my mind. And then like, it was crazy because actually like your all's commentators and stuff, like people back home, like they don't have much of an idea of what I do too much, but they're like, yeah, the judges were like really loving you and all the stuff that they said. So but it was really cool to play it back and listen to what you guys had to say about me and the parallels that you saw and everything. It's always so crazy, like, to see yourself transform. And you never know what the finished product is until the very end. And you realize like, wow, I look like that. Like you don't even really believe it until, it all comes together. So it was really, really awesome. Really, really spectacular. And I'm just hoping to try to repeat it. So.
You kind of have a split life because, in one case you're a bodybuilder, women's physique competitor, same thing essentially. And then another thing, you have a professional life as well. Is that difficult to keep the two separated?
Yeah, it is, but then, sometimes it's like a blessing in disguise, like, even like with this cold, a blessing in disguise because I've not been, too terribly, my appetite's been down, so it's been a good thing. And like, same thing, like I've been working, like I've been electing to work weekends because guess what? When the weekend comes, like traditionally, I've had a lot more cheat meals on the weekends, and this prep I haven't. So when the weekend comes and I have any spare time, like my little brain wants to think about food. So I've actually worked more this prep than before.
Everyone, what you do?
I'm a physical therapist at 2 different clinics, an outpatient and an inpatient.
Gotcha. And so you work in clinic, or do you travel to people's houses, or you do both?
No, just I do curbside consulting, I feel like all day, but no, I have 2 clinics that I travel to that are pretty close together.
That's it.
Yeah. Apex Network, Physical Therapy, and then Hickory Point Christian Village. It's a what we call a skilled nursing facility. So people are in and out real quick. I don't like to say it's a nursing home. It's very high level. So it's where I'm at now.
I've watched you go from the 2015 Olympia to the 2016 Arnold to the 2016 Olympia, and you've gained quite a bit of size over the course of that year and a half or so. That's pretty amazing, and I know you started as a pro fitness competitor. Tell us how that whole transformation has occurred.
Yeah, basically I took a layoff of 3 years to go to physical therapy school once I turned pro. So I did my first pro show just to get one under my belt and, to say I'm a pro because you can't do that until you do it. So I took 3 years off, went to Kentucky, went to school, and then I came back to the stage in fitness and I made first call outs, but I don't even remember what I placed. Like they were just like, you're like a turd in a punch bowl. Like you just like were like too big. Like you were just way too big. So I stood out, but like in that lineup, it all depends on, what show,
Right.
because I'm like, well, if you put me on, a bigger stage, then probably not. But I did the Chicago Pro, and everyone, all the judges, that's all I heard. And I kind of thought that going in because I'm like, oh, there's this new division, women's physique now. And as prep was going, I was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of looking more like that. But I'd put so much into my routine
Right.
and doing all that, all that goes with fitness that I just wanted to see it through. And I don't know, I guess a part of me just needed like confirmation.
Right.
So here I am.
Yeah. Now, you almost gained 10 pounds from last year to this year. You have really good symmetry. You have a small waist. You have a nice structure. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I mean, do you think that you need to be bigger now, or are you happy with what you've achieved in terms of
I'm
size?
happy with what I achieved. Like, I really didn't realize that my back needed to be brought up as much as it did. So, actually, just kind of my whole backside, and they always say, you always hear that, and I try to make a special effort to work everything evenly, but they're like, say, you work your mirror muscles, what you see. So, I guess I was one of those. But once you get leaned down, you really see what muscle you have. So, even glutes for me was an area like my glutes in the off season, I would gain a lot of cushion there. But then, once you diet down for a show, like, you still need some round gluteness, So, I think that I've put on probably my most will be, just filling in the gaps from the back. So.
Now, after the Arnold Classic win, a lot of people were talking about you as being, a really dangerous threat to Juliana Malacarni's Olympia throne. At the Olympia, you didn't bring the look that you really wanted, and the judges really didn't reward you for that. Dani Reardon, who you had beaten at the Arnold, actually wound up coming in second at that show. Talk to me about what happened at that Olympia.
Yeah, we're kind of like back and forth. Iron sharpens iron. Well, that whole prep, my body just really fought me, and I won't say that competing is ever easy, but I mean, I do feel like, I see a lot of more people struggle, because I do contest prep people too, some, and, I see a lot more people struggle than me. And I feel like my body just typically will respond to anything and everything. And I had a lot of GI issues that I never faced. I don't know if that's like an aging thing. I definitely know that like my off season transitioning, because I have such a short window, I'm like, I'll just say it. I feel like I'm eating or I don't feel like I'm eating everything in sight because then I know it starts back again.
Yeah.
So I think that it's almost like kind of like just too much up and down, and like my body was just not responding. We're just trying so much, and you don't want to try too many variables at one time, but when you're like you said, like set up, when you're in a position where that you could do really well, you want to just keep trying because your days are numbered. And things just kind of went from bad to worse with the gut and everything that I tried, and it's all resolved now. So we're good. Everything's been reset. I'm working with Chad Nichols now. He's had me, and I think he pretty much has everyone he works with start off with like a cleanse and detox, and I'd never done that before. And I mean, man, like really, if you can get through that, then you can use that to fuel your prep, because that was really rough. I mean, I've fasted before, but not like that, and not for that long. I mean, he had me like, I see what the thing is though, is I don't remember how long it was, so it doesn't even matter. So I got through it. But
Yeah,
it felt
I give out a detox to my clients. I give them out to everyone who asks me for it. It's like a 3-week detox, but It's like 12 hours of fasting a day. I don't believe in the ultra long fast. I don't think you need to fast all day long, you know.
It wasn't a fast. I mean,
Yeah.
I had food, but it was very limited, and it was like a progression of
Right.
reintroducing. It
Right.
was like letting, everything rest and
Yeah, you
reintroduce.
got to do it. You got to do it. I
Yeah.
agree.
And I've
It's
never
important.
done that. And maybe that's something that I've been missing out on, and maybe that is just caught up with me. So I felt really good. I really did. So I mean, once you get past a certain point, you feel really good. So
Yeah, I think that you have to give your GI system a rest. I mean, when you're jamming 6 meals a day into it every single day, eventually it gets tired and exhausted. And sometimes you just got to give it a little break. And I think that that's a good move on your part of doing that.
I can eat more than your average bear. So
I can only imagine. What's your favorite cheat meal?
oh gosh, Giordano's pizza. Have you had it?
Nice. That's,
Deep
yes,
dish.
deep dish. I actually went to Giordano's. I was in Chicago like 2 years ago with my wife, and they were actually closed during the day for lunch.
Oh,
I never heard of a pizza place being closed for
yeah.
lunch, but I guess they're famous enough they could do that,
Yeah, do what they want. Yeah. Well, you can get it dry iced. You can. I'll send you a pizza.
All right.
The
Deal.
plainer, the better.
I've been eating a lot of pizza lately, ever since I had my 1-year-old son. Because kids like pizza, so when kids eat it, we got to eat it too. All right, let's talk about this upcoming Arnold. Dani Reardon out of the lineup. She's not going to be competing this year. Once again, it's this cattle. I call it the cattle call. The Arnold people, for some reason, seem to think that women's and men's physique, that they should allow anyone who wants to come and do the show, and then they'll do an elimination round, and then I think the top 10 will come back for the finals, and only the finals, and then you'll do your routine. Do you like that format, or do you not like it?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like I don't really think. I haven't really thought too much about it. I mean, I mean, at least it's a little more selective this year. But then again, I feel like that I don't know many people that are doing it. So I think it'll be interesting. I mean, it's a way for people to for people from all over, to participate and everything. So, and I think there's going to be a lot of great talent, and a lot of new up and comers, because that's what's in it. So
yeah, you have Heather Grace in the lineup, obviously, who's very dangerous. She keeps getting better and better. She's kind of has a similar run that you had. She went from figure to women's physique, and she's been making improvements each and every year. When you go into a lineup and you compete in a show, do you worry about other competitors? Do you look at their pictures on like Facebook and social media, or do you kind of just stay, focused on yourself?
I just stay focused on myself. Literally, I don't have the time. I might get on there, like 5 minutes at night, but like, or if I can't sleep. But I will say though, in recent times past, that it has been a struggle, just because like I see something and I'm like, oh, well, I don't have that, oh, well, I don't have that. And that. So I would just like to say the way that I view it, and the way that's really helped me, because it can like really bring you down. They say, I heard the other day that they were talking about on a show that they say within like 2 minutes of a lady looking at a magazine or something, she feels like so much worse about herself, because there's all this like perfect, and you have to remember that, like, that's what social media is. Like, it's somebody's like, what their creation, what they're portraying, it isn't always real. Some is, some isn't. So take it with a grain of salt. What matters is what you look like show day. What matters is the whole entire package. So none of us have like, all the best everything,
Right.
So, well, I mean, maybe, but maybe there's the one, but like, so I guess that's how I kind of look at it when I see something and I'm like, oh, holy crap! Like, are they like, I don't have that going on, but it doesn't matter. A week away, it doesn't matter a month away. Like, the body changes so quickly. Pretty much, from this point out, it's like every hour. So like, I just try not to even look at myself. So no, I'm not looking at other people, because I'm trying to just not look at myself. So.
All right, final question, Autumn. I know in the back in the day, the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, the women bodybuilders notoriously had very weird fans. Some people call them schmoes, people who are just obsessed with female muscle. Have you noticed now that the women's physique division has kind of evolved, you guys are more muscular, much leaner, are you starting to get a lot of cool, weird fans like contacting you now for, for strange requests?
No, you know what? That's actually, I think that was worse like in the past, actually.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe, I don't know. I'm sure I have a lot of that stuff in my spam, but no, I don't really get too much of that and don't respond to it.
Well,
But
I'm sure you don't
I know
respond to it, but do you get people propositioning you with, can I
yeah,
want?
but I don't think as much, but I don't know
Oh,
because I don't really check my stuff, if I'm not already connected with you.
gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I still do though. Like I still even get emails, and I'm like, how do they get my email? But yeah,
Well, you're a public figure. You
they
can get your
really
email anywhere.
post.
You're on social media. I mean, people could contact you if they want to. Obviously, it's not that hard to get in touch with you.
I don't know. I don't know, but
I'm sure you do. It's all right. I understand. There's a lot of weird people out there. All
I will
right.
check. I will check just for you. I will
Listen,
share them with you at the Arnold. Because
best
I
of luck.
do have pretty funny ones.
I want to wish you the best of luck next week. Obviously,
And
you're the defending champion. You're the woman to beat up on that stage, and obviously you've made some great improvements from last year. You're better than the Olympia. All your GI problems are taken care of, and good luck.
yeah, thank you, thank you. I really feel like this is my best ever so far. I know a lot can change, like I say, but at this point in time, right now, today, this is the best that I've ever been as in my career. So,
Well, that's what we like to hear because we don't want you to be your worst. We want you to be your best, and
right.
that's what we're looking forward to seeing up on that stage. And that will take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle's Road to the Arnold Classic 2017, brought to you by Quest Nutrition. Visit questnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you real soon.